Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies and gents, got a little bit of the Supremes with Diana and her Rosses, and we're doing this video. Please understand, journalists reflect on Ebola and Nebraska medicine, blah, 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 blah. Do you know why they're talking about Nebraska? Well, let me explain. Because Nebraska is a pretty interesting state, isn't it? Look, ladies and gentlemen, when was the last time you heard about Ebola? Some of you have heard about it recently, but you didn't know that this crisis has been going on for greater than 9 months. That's right. And the fact is, they don't know the exact number of the people infected. They're saying it's anywhere from 580 with 356 dead. Ladies and gentlemen, they know that it's more than 356 dead. If you go and look at the total number of deaths that they've recorded from Ebola this year, it's over 700. Hold on, why is it over 700? They're only reporting 356 because they keep saying each different outbreak is a different outbreak, not from the same outbreak that started in March of this year. That's right. This has been going on since March. We're now at January. It is the 31st of December 2018. Let's ring in a new year with Ebola. Are you and your family prepared? Have you prepared for Ebola? Wait a minute. We ain't got to prepare. That's all the way in the Congo. The Congo ain't nowhere near here. My home ain't nowhere near the Congo. Even though my family from Africa, we ain't from the Congo and we don't have to worry about it. Really? So you don't have to worry about Ebola here in the United States? Let's see. An American doctor is being monitored in the United States. After possible exposure to the Ebola virus? You gonna see how they say possible? Then they're going to pre-qualify that by saying, oh, well, it's a precaution. It's just a precaution. And if you hear them use the phrase, it's just a precaution, that is to lower anyone's heightened awareness of a circumstance. It's just, that is to make it less alarming. But by the way, the reason why they're talking about Nebraska, because the doctor happens to be in Nebraska. That's why they're talking about Nebraska. Now wait, hold on. They bring this doctor who was over in the Congo helping individuals, and they said that he is being monitored after possible exposure to Ebola. Well, why did they let him get on a plane? He got on a plane, ladies and gentlemen. There is no boat trips to America anymore from Africa. Yeah, they stopped that back in the 1800s. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, backstabbers, what they do. All right, so that all of you guys get it, because some of you guys are not paying attention. If this thing wasn't a big deal, then why is it that they're letting another doctor come into America with Ebola? Oh, excuse me, the possibility of Ebola. Now, do I believe he has Ebola? Yes, but I don't think he has Ebola that is detected at the moment. I believe that it will be detected later. But I believe that he will be released from the hospital, showing that he had no virus and that he was displaying no symptoms. You'll just mark my word. But if he does have Ebola, then what about all the people that were on the plane with him? They haven't quarantined them. But isn't that what they're required to do? Of course they should be required to do that, but they didn't do it. Why did they do this? Because they're smiling in people's faces and doing something else behind their backs. Now, again, in Nebraska, ladies and gentlemen, there is a individual whom they're claiming may have the possibility of Ebola because he possibly came into contact with Ebola. He was possibly exposed to Ebola. Of course he was possibly exposed to Ebola because he was one of the doctors working on Ebola in Africa. So why are they exposing him now? Why are they putting him out in the middle of Front Street? Because this is what they do. So what can you guys do to get right on the right track? Okay, we're going to help take some of the knives out of your back so they can stop smiling in your face. Okay, look, ladies and gentlemen, again, this is why they're talking about Ebola in Nebraska. Okay, because the doctor is being held in Nebraska. Let me let you guys know also something else that you need to be aware of. This site is EbolaVirusNet.com. Okay? EbolaVirusNet.com gives you all the news that's being reported on by all the different See, this is Nebraska station, this is ABC World News, and all the other ones. So they give you the different information from all of the different areas. Ladies and gentlemen, I asked a question earlier. I did another video, but it didn't take, so I had to redo this. But the question I asked is, who are these Congolese rebels? Who are these rebels they keep talking about? They said that they are rebels. Give me a second. I have to go to a different one. We're going to go with a little bit more Brian McKnight, y'all. But, you know what? That's my bad. That's not Brian. I don't know what I'm thinking. This is Drew Hill, y'all. I don't know what I'm thinking. This is Beauty is her name. Okay. Apologize. It just started out like a Brian McKnight song. Democrats' plans to end government shutdown don't include new funding for a border wall. That's what ABC thought I would be interested in. As I said yesterday, I'll say again today. It's a border wall. That makes it military. That means they can use part of the military budget to fund it. They have more than $5 billion in the military that they can use, because we know that the military has been wasting money all day long. You know, paying $160 for a toilet seat. No, the seat, not the toilet. Alright, don't know how much they've been paying for them pins lately. Used to work in the Army Corps of Engineers. I used to see those requisitions. I used to see the $60 tape recorder that you can buy at Radio Shack at the time. That was $260 being sold to the U.S. government. 3 times, 4 times, 5 times the amount. It's what the government pays for something. Instead of, like every other company, buying it in bulk. Well, it's because it's government. It has to follow certain regulations. The same as the companies selling to the citizens have to follow those same regulations. Anyway, let's get back to this. This is what I want to show y'all. We don't want to show y'all this no more. This was, like I said, to me it was hilarious. Now, if you listen to this video, and it's deputy fired for arresting retired cop. If you listen to that video, what you will hear is the officer said, "I've never treated anyone like that." In 29 years, he says he never treated anyone like that. You know what? His demeanor, if you saw him, he wasn't demanding. But he did point at the officer and instruct him that he had done something wrong. And the officer didn't want to take that. So basically he was challenging the officer's authority, and that's what happens when you challenge their so-called purposive authority. Okay? No, this is another one of them videos. I want to get back to the Africa videos that I got. So it'll be 1 second. Let me pause, y'all. We'll get back to Beauty in a second. Beauty is her name. I'm hoping. I'm sorry, apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to understand, these are not the rebels. Okay? There are no rebels in this video. There are definitely no rebels in this video. The people that they're claiming are rebels, please don't believe that. This is all propaganda. Okay? And these are 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 6 years ago. Where are the current rebels that they're talking about that's causing all the conflicts? You watch these 2 videos, and this one's talking about the Army intensifies offensive against the M23 rebel group. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll see that there was no M23s anywhere in this video. You just have a bunch of, well, a couple of people walking around in deserted areas where there's no other person there. This junk doesn't make any sense. It's all propaganda. Why? Because they need you not to be concerned. They need you to think that there is an enemy out there, a boogeyman in the Congo. See, take a look at how they're grabbing him. Tutsi rebels advance on key controlled towns. Okay. Mamai, meai, rebels, rough cut. Really? So how many people did you pay to dress up? No, the rebels are real. I've seen them. I was there when they first got formed. And my uncle, he's one of, okay, You can say that all day long, but they created a boogeyman. And what did the boogeyman do? Well, the boogeyman is stopping the doctors from treating Ebola. Well, what about the doctor who just came back from possible infection? Does he complain about issues with the rebels? No, he doesn't. Okay? Congo army launches an offensive against the ADF rebels. But you won't see a single rebel in this video. You won't see a single rebel in this video. Why? That's the reason why they're 2 minutes long, because they cut that information out. Why? Because they have to direct you in one direction. So what can you believe? You have to do your own research, people. So here's the best thing I'm going to tell you. While doing your research, go to sites like ebolavirusnet.com. ebolavirusnet.com. Go to sites like this, if it will let me. And when you go to sites like this, notice that they're giving you the articles from several different news outlets, not just one news outlet. Take that information, combine it, and see where the contradictions are. Like I told you, the first thing I looked for is I need to see who these rebels are. Because they use the word rebel, because rebel is a negative word. It means rebel. Okay? It means to rebel. It means to be against something. It means to be doing something illegal. So they're getting ready. Well, they've already shut down borders. Ladies and gentlemen, why are they shutting down borders now? Why didn't they shut down the borders when this was a problem a couple of months ago? When the rebels were really causing a problem, when they couldn't keep their doctors in there? Why didn't they shut down the border then and then go in and not open the borders until they had a firm grip on who had Ebola and who didn't? Because this is all a game. The beginning of the year, ladies and gentlemen, they got you distracted about some stupid shutdown, so you're not paying attention to it. And it'll happen just like the Ebola crisis happened 4 years ago. It will happen the exact same way, but this time, you'll be unawares. Have any of you prepared? Have you stocked up on food supplies for 6 months, just in case there's an emergency? You know, I say this so that you will understand, so that you'll get it. You are not ready. And I gotta answer this. We're gonna talk about people not being ready. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been approximately 28 minutes since I stopped, but I knew what I was getting ready to talk about. The question is, are you all prepared? Everybody talks about being prepared. You know, there was a commercial. Be prepared. Are you ready to take the lead? Be prepared. Are you ready to... You understand? You remember that stupid commercial? But none of you are prepared. If there was to be a quarantine in your neighborhood tomorrow, and they were to shut down all roads and tell you you were not allowed to leave your home, and that if there was any supplies you needed, that they would bring it to you, that you were to make a list, and if they had it, they would give it to you, what would you do? Do you have enough water supply? So the first thing I'm going to make a suggestion to some of you is that you must have spare water. So what do? You go and you buy those containers, those water containers. Why? Because you need to store water in your home, and you don't buy purified water to place in there. Do not use purified water. Use spring water. Purified water is processed through chemicals. Spring water is closer to not having all the chemicals added. So you want to do spring water. Now, for those of you with the larger family, the larger families, remember everybody's required, or not required, should drink 8 ounces of water a day. Now, my drinking habits because of this wonderful disease is closer to a gallon of water a day. And I said 8 ounces, 8-ounce glasses of water a day. Okay, but mine again is close to a gallon a day. Now, how many of those jugs you think I need to have? Whew! Lord have mercy. So you go out there and you buy them and you fill them up now. The total cost of that will probably cost you $40. You even get the pump for it. Okay? Now, either you get the pump or you have the cooler. But remember, what if you don't have any electricity? So you get the cooler that works whether it's plugged in or not. Okay? Oh, now that's almost $80 because that cooler can cost you. That's right, but if you already have it, is what I'm saying. You're killing two birds, one stone. All right. Second thing, what do you need to do? At first, previously, I told people to stock up on canned goods, but canned goods is filled up a lot of chemicals and a lot of salt, a lot of sodium, because it needs to preserve the items inside. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are kind of stuck. I told people go with cup of noodles and ramen and all of that stuff, but there are not a lot of nutrition in those items. Well, what about the packs that you buy, the army packs, the dried food packs? Yes, you can do that, but I would get a dehydrator so that you can dehydrate the food, the vegetables, the fruits, so that you can have dehydrated fruits and vegetables. Okay, because that's your nutrition. So even if you can't have a full 20-course meal like most of you are used to, you can still get your nutrition without having to eat tons of food to get that same nutrition. So a dehydrator would probably do some of you pretty good. Okay? Now, 6 months, not 3 months, not 3 weeks. They are lying to you if you are thinking that the next great emergency, which will affect the entire country for the majority of the part of the country, is going to last only 3 weeks. You're going to understand there's going to be what's called a new norm. They're going to tell you that. They're going to say this is the new norm. This is what we can expect. Oh, there have been an update as to the new security policies and program that's being put in place. You're going to hear things like that, ladies and gentlemen. Think about it. If there was to be a pandemic, not an epidemic, a pandemic, like pandemonia. Exactly. If there was to be a pandemic, then where are you going to get your food? The food, please, you've seen when hurricanes come how empty the shelves are in the supermarket. There's not enough food at the supermarket to feed all the people in the city. No matter if you put all the food in all the supermarkets together in the United States, they would nowhere near come to feeding Los Angeles for 2 weeks. Just wouldn't happen. You need to understand how much food people consume on a daily basis. With that being the case, you have to have food stocks, food supplies. If you don't, then you're going to pay for it in the long run. You don't need to be running long. Run long, Jim! Alright, I'm going to hit you right. Okay, deep in the pocket. Okay, you don't need to be running long. Look, most of you, you've heard it, haven't you? Hey, New Birth, hold on a second. That's New Birth, you guys. They're going to hold on for 1 second. You guys have heard it before, haven't you? When there's an emergency or a situation happens or something happens that catches everybody out of the blue. You guys have heard it, haven't you? Because I've heard it. I don't know what happened. We didn't know what to expect. Now we don't have no place to go. I lost everything. Everything was there. I lost everything. I don't have any savings. I don't have nothing. Oh my God. I've never seen anything like this. Oh, this is so horrible. Oh, where am I going to go? I don't know. I don't have any relatives to go to. I guess I'm going to have to... The shelters are full. Oh, God. Then, wait, do you know any place I could go? You don't know anybody who would take in? Okay. Or the... Honey? Did you pack the... Okay. Did you get... What do you mean? Why didn't I do it? Because I thought you were going to do it. You guys know these stories. You're familiar with them. These are the people who are unprepared. And each one of you are unprepared. Don't sit up here and tell me that you're prepared because you're not. If you had prepared, you'd be preparing for 6 months at least. Because during that 6 months, you would have time to figure out where you're going to get the new supplies, where you're going to get the replacement to what you're eating and drinking. That's what the first 6 months are for. It's not for you to make it through those 6 months. No, it's for you to prepare for the next 6 months. That's called preparation, people. Not H, not B, not C. Preparation H. He tried to make something funny. Anyway, that's the real preparation. And you guys are not preparing. Well, you're not prepared. Well, actually, I'm more prepared than the rest of you. Okay? I've been preparing for this since 2012. You guys heard me. Okay? It's just that things changed for me. So I had to make the adjustment. Well, things change for us too. Which is why you're not prepared. See, I made the adjustment. Well, we made the adjustment too. Hey, Los Angeles. Well, this is technically not Los Angeles, but this is Los Angeles. This was the first interstate building. And that's Bank of America. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I used to work in... No, this is the building I worked in right here. That's the building I worked in. So I used to work there. And I worked in this building, did security. That's right, did security. And the United States, what is that building called I told you all about? The Army Corps of Engineers is way over here. See, you can't even see the mouse. It's over here. Okay? So, Los Angeles. Let's get back to the understanding. Hey, look at them hills. Them ain't the Hollywood hills. Hollywood is over here. Okay? Them more like Malibu and all of that stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, I really wish it was different than what I'm explaining to you. I really wish that Ebola wasn't going to become a big deal. You saw what happened. You saw what happened. 2014 to 2016, you saw what happened. You saw how widespread that disease was. But look at the efforts that they put to stop it. You see, they're not doing the same thing now. They're making all kind of excuses as to why it's being allowed to spread. But pay attention. It's being allowed to spread. There's a plan in mind. Don't be a part of the plan. Be a part of the solution. Oh, did you just use a common... Anyway, be prepared, people. You're not prepared. You are not prepared. As much as you will tell yourself you're prepared, you are not prepared. You're supposed to be sensible. You're supposed to be reasonable. You're supposed to be smart. You're supposed to be intelligent. And you're not prepared. The fact that you're not prepared means that you're none of those things that was just stated. Now, that's not to put you down. That's not to put you up. That's not to pat you on the back. That's to let you know that you are not prepared. You have to get prepared. Because if you are not prepared, you will suffer the worst for it. The people who weren't prepared are the ones who go through the most stress. The ones who don't know what to do when something happens. That's all I wanted to say to you today. I hope that this information rings through. I hope that it gives you something to hold on to. Have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good life. Have a good... That's a nice boon. Bye.